your learning antenna, Vikram Sivakumar.
Vikram! I woke up slowly. There was a short, angry woman looking down at me. I had fallen asleep again in class, and Miss Mohan was very angry.
Vikram, every moment is an opportunity to learn. So wake up. Class, don't be like him. Keep your learning antenna up, and the world will teach you amazing things. Now, Vikram, get out of class.
So I was an outstanding student that day. Keep your learning antenna up. How about this? Nya, 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 nya. Conscious chair, fellow Toastmasters, and friends who still haven't understood your teachers. That's because teachers are not competent communicators. It took me 15 years to finally understand Miss Mohan, world record for the world's slowest learner. The day I understood her, I was on the rooftop of a temple in Burma, waiting for a sunrise. I traveled thousands of kilometers to get here, but all I could see was darkness and more darkness. Oh, wait a minute. What's that? Stars. Millions and millions of stars. All those beauties winking right back at me. And there was Orion and Capricorn and Gemini. I was truly lost, gazing into a dreamy sky. But dawn began to break. The darkness faded. But the dance of the light brought life to the land. The first few rays illuminated the temple I was on. The next few rays illuminated one in the distance. And then another, and another, and then. What was until seconds ago pitch black was suddenly a beautiful landscape filled with 1,000 temples, covered in a thin mist, lighted perfectly in that tinge of crimson orange. That was the most magnificent sunrise of my life. But for a reason that only science can explain, the next thought in my head was Miss Mohan again. Keep your learning antenna up. I think she heard Theo's speech. She just kept knocking. I wondered what it was. What was it? And then it dawned on me. That entire scene had a deeper meaning. It symbolized modern-day Burma. The thousands of temples were the people of Burma, hidden away from us for many years. Hence why I waited in complete darkness. Slowly, we could see more of Burma, but not all of her, as she wore a thin mist to maintain her mystery, modesty, and magic. And the protagonists of the stories, the sun and Aung San Suu Kyi.
Yeah.
Nature had just given me a metaphorical lesson about modern-day Burma. But if not for Miss Mohan, I wouldn't have found that lesson. Would you? Come with me to Burma. You just witnessed the most magnificent sunrise of your life. What do you do now? Do you flip out your phone, start uploading photos to Facebook? Or do you rush back to the hotel for the lovely buffet? Or do you wait for a lesson from nature? Our lives are very similar. Are you rushing from place to place, or do you stop? Wake up to the world around you and learn from it. I finally understood Miss Mohan's words. I had been sleeping for 15 years, never awake to the lessons around me, never had my learning antenna up. And as I went back to the hotel that day, in amazement, I encountered my first lesson. An old cycle. It had started rusting, stopped moving, and someone had thrown it out. And I was similar to that cycle because each time I learned, I moved forward. Another day, another lesson, another step forward. But if I stopped moving, stopped learning, started rusting, would someone throw me out? Would you like to be thrown out? I had already been thrown out of class once. I didn't want to be thrown out again. Not out of my job, not out of my relationships. The world really can teach us amazing things. If you don't believe me, ask legendary Sir Isaac Newton, who one day was sleeping under a tree when an apple woke him up to gravity. Of course, I may never solve a problem as complex as gravity. I have more complicated problems. Say romance. I was a young Romeo, and my Juliet left me. A few years after my trip to Burma, I had my first terrible breakup. It was so hard on me that I took to drinking every night. Not one, but 4 cups every night of chocolate milk. But nothing helped. I didn't know how to move on until the day I saw a dog. Poop! He just did his business, put some mud over that crap, and ran away happily. And I realized my life will always have crap. I just had to... At first, I was learning crap. Now, I was learning from crap. And I'm sure your life has crap too. Hopefully, every morning. But with your learning antenna up, you can learn from it. You can learn from everything around you. Maybe a sunrise, maybe an old cycle, maybe dog crap. Your lesson can come from a moment of success, a moment of failure. But most importantly, you can learn from every single moment of your lives. Because you see, the entire world is one giant classroom. And everyone and everything in it is a teacher. When you wake up each morning, you're already in class. But when you're in class, are you actually sleeping? If you are, wake up. Keep your learning antenna up, and the world will teach you amazing things.